All right, we're getting started with Klingman's Dome. Jam packed.
Okay, we're starting our trek up to
Look
Klingman's Dome parking lot. The parking lot was jam-packed as it was a beautiful day and there were many people that were going to hike up to the top of Klingman's Dome. That was not our goal that day. Our goal was to hike Andrews Bald. We had seen some of the people that we follow on YouTube hike there in the spring and it was covered in flowers, so we knew that the trees and the views from there would be spectacular. But the views from just the parking lot in Klingman's Dome, they're gorgeous. And every time we see them, we never get tired of that view. It's just beautiful. The clouds tucked away in between the mountain ranges. It's spectacular. The trees, they're just so beautiful. Video and pictures really don't do it justice, but you can see a little bit of what we experienced on this day.
She's in the line over there.
So of course we have to start off with any hike with a potty break. And of course they're
right,
regular potties, they're not the best. But here we go.
Just starting off.
1.7 miles to Andrews Bald. And we didn't think it was going to be a bad hike. We had COVID in August, and we both had a pretty hard time with COVID. And we had planned to hike to Mount LeConte, but we knew we were not physically able to do that hike this time, unfortunately. So we thought this would be a pretty easy hike. We could do it.
Still on Andrews Ball. We finally got far enough out. You can't hear any people. Just birds, squirrels, the wind going through the trees, and the water way off down in there. It's awesome. Cool.
Going downhill on Andrews Bald was not so bad. But I did get a little whiny, I admit it. It was pretty tough on me. I was not as prepared as I thought I was. I had made a pretty big mistake and forgotten my trekking pole at home and had planned to buy another trekking pole because those really do help me when I'm hiking. Because I have bad knees and I was having a lot of lower back pain.
It was a struggle, but you made it because I see it right here. See it? I can see scowl around. I knew we had to be getting here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's right there. I didn't go down. I was waiting on you.
You didn't have to wait.
Well, I thought we would share it. Oh, don't fall. Break your hip right here at it. Wait till you get out there and look at it and then break your hip. I've almost fallen. I heard you one time. I thought you was down.
I really don't have very good balance.
$500 feet.
But I was determined, and we continued on. And it was a beautiful hike through the trees with all the green moss and the sunlight shining down. Little mountain streams that were just starting that eventually run all the way down the mountain that go into the big rivers.
That's some folks that passed us.
And we're just into the edge of coming into the clearing on Andrews Bald.
Oh, yeah. Imagine come up here in spring, all this in flowers.
I don't know how Dawn makes it.
We both had gotten pretty big, nice backpacks for our hike to prepare for Mount LeConte, but we did use them on this very short hike just to get used to wearing them and packing them out. Dalton had packed all of his camera equipment in his. And here we go into the clearing on top of Andrew's Vault. So, as I said, in the spring it is all
We'll get it
flowers
to
up there,
ourselves.
and it's beautiful.
No one else is here.
But it was really
If
spectacular.
anyone else was here, the bears ate them. There ain't nobody here now.
Just us. We made it.
Just a little bit of whining, a little bit of struggling. We made it. All right, we did it. Now we just got to hike back. You ready?
Ready.
Here we go.
Go. Whoop, whoop.
She's struggling. She done got grumpy. You made it though. A few more steps.
Yeah. We may not go anywhere else in the whole trip.
You'll have to rest up.
Maybe going and doing stuff alone.
Well, as I mentioned before, we were starting our trek out, going back up to the top, because it was pretty much a downhill trek all the way down to Andrew's Vault. I really struggled going uphill that entire way. And Dalton doesn't really know it yet, but he almost met Jesus on that day, because I always hike slower than everybody else, and that's okay. Hike your own hike. But every time I would come around the corner and I was at the bottom of a hill and he was at the top, he was there taking a picture of me. So about the last bend, he was there giving me a little grief, and I was like, I'm listening to take the camera and I'm gonna take that strap and wrap it around your neck. But that was all in joking and fun. But boy, I was so glad when we finally reached that last step and that hike was over. It was a struggle, to say the least. And that's when I realized I was truly not prepared for that hike as I thought I was. But I knew I had a reward that was coming at the end, and I was so ready for that reward.
All right, coming out, we both struggled. She struggled more than I did. So I would get ahead and then I would stop and wait and I'd try to motivate and or aggravate. And eventually she told me she's going to do something with the camera. I'm pretty sure it was physically impossible, but I did stay ahead of her just in case. But we didn't make it. It was fun.
Back to the noisy children.
Oh, yeah. It was quiet and you made that turn back there. He knew you was close because you could hear him. right, Andrew's Ball. We made it.
How was that trail?
It wasn't, to me, it was easy going. Coming back, it just seemed like you coming up.
Yeah,
You know, it's constant.
This is going down and then back.
Yeah. Going, it seems like you go down and up, and then there's some semi-flat ground, but.
Is it an easy trail to see where you're going? Or?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a couple forks, but it's clearly marked. Let me show you.
About, what, 2 hours?
Oh.
Hour and a half?
Just depends on how you hike.
Yeah, I guess.
We've probably been 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we got about,
But we stopped when we stayed at Andrew's Ball for a long time though.
okay.
Yeah, so. So y'all much younger than us, so y'all have an easy time.
Well, I'm pregnant, so we'll see.
See ya. Y'all too. You gotta get your picture.
Finally, our reward.
Apple Barn. We made it just in time because they're closing. If you hadn't had any apple pie and ice cream, you're missing out. Right? Alright. We're gonna eat ice cream and apple pie. Y'all gotta go. That's really good, isn't it?
That's really good.
I've already ate mine. It's gone.
You're a pig.
I was starving. I've been thinking about that since last night. But. Apple Barn's a good place.
And here we go, turning into Starcrest Resort. This will be our home for the next 4 nights. We've been looking forward to this trip for months. This was going to be our second time to stay in Barely Awake. And we were beyond excited. It's by far our favorite cabin in the Smokies when it's just us two or maybe another couple that would go. It is a 2-bedroom cabin. The ride to the top is a pretty awesome ride. And they have really good roads here in this resort. They're wide and they keep them clean in the wintertime. So if there's any snow or ice, they get taken care of right away. So you don't have to worry about that. Dalton likes driving up here to the top of the mountain on these little windy roads. We stayed in that very first cabin there, the first time we stayed in the resort, and we could see Barely Awake at the very top, and we were like, boy, we want to be in that cabin. We want to stay in that one and hang off the side of the mountain. So we took a drive and found out which cabin it was. Took a picture of the sign, and we've kept it for a couple of years before we were able to stay in it, but we did. This was our first time to stay in it in the fall, and it did not disappoint. As you can see, the ride up to the top with the trees is spectacular. I don't think you can have any bad views from any of these cabins. They all face different directions. We had even rented one at one time in here that faced Dollywood, and you could see and hear the train throughout the day. That was pretty neat. We're climbing higher and higher. This is Dalton's favorite. But he's visiting to get behind a slowpoke. He says that they're not as excited about getting to their cabin as he is. But I think that they're just not as confident driving on the mountain roads as he is. He's pretty impatient at this point. He's ready to get there. But you can see it's a beautiful ride. And we still have more climbing to do. We're looking for Mikey Street, which this is going to be our street. We're going to turn right. Look at that view. It's beautiful. Next door to us, but that's the cabin. That is our next door neighbors. And go down just a few feet. Make that sharp little turn. And here we are, home for the next 4 days. Hope you enjoy the views. to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.